It's Western Groove, back with another video. So last night we had this Canelo versus Triple G. It finally happened. It really happened. It was crazy seeing them walk into the ring and seeing the first round. It was looking like Canelo was gonna be able to stay in there with Triple G. We was gonna get a good fight, and that's what ended up happening. I feel like we ended up getting a really close, competitive fight. I felt as if Canelo had a lot of confidence coming into the fight, and Triple G was sort of unsure of himself. And I feel as if that's why we saw Canelo come in there, and he probably I thought Triple G won the first round, but after that I thought that Canelo won the next 3 or 4 rounds or so. But then I think that when Triple G started to kind of calm down and gather himself, I think that we started to see the Canelo that we usually see in some of these moments, and that's the Canelo who gets gassed. That's what I saw. I saw Canelo gassing out. Uh, Triple G started putting that pressure on him, and Canelo was gassing. Now, what Triple G wasn't as accurate with his shots because Canelo was putting on a good defensive display all night long. You got to give Canelo that he was truly making Triple G miss a lot of shots, and Triple G had nothing. He just couldn't find a way to to trap Canelo, to get Canelo to fall for a trap so that he could land like a hard right hand on him. Canelo, with his upper body movement, kept Triple G pretty out of whack. But he was, through the middle of the fight, Triple G just had constant pressure on Canelo, and Canelo, it wasn't, see, it was competitive. It wasn't a thing like, who was it, Harold Letterman? I didn't see the fight how he had it either. Uh, I wasn't seeing it as like Triple G's just winning all of these rounds, because I look at it as like this, right? Who would you rather be after the round? Uh, People have seen fights. We've seen them in boxing. You've seen them in real life where, yeah, there is sometimes a bigger, stronger guy who can kind of bully you around and throw punches, but their punches are landing, and yeah, they're throwing more punches. They're dictating when and how the fight's happening, but when the fight happens is and how the fight happens, that you're in the advantage. The smaller guy or the one who's getting bullied around is the one actually landing clean, effective punches, and that's what I saw in some of those middle rounds. Not in all of them or most of them, but in some of those middle rounds, I saw, yeah, Triple G is pressuring Canelo. Canelo is looking tired and he's not being consistent. But Triple G, like, there was times where Triple G's not really landing with his jab, or he's not outlanding Canelo with his jab. and and yeah, Canelo's moving back, but he's just landing, he's landing body shots, and Canelo slipping all his punches off the ropes, and then Canelo ends up countering Triple G with a little combination, and that's kind of how the round goes. And it's like, there's Harold Letterman's giving it to Triple G, and I'm just not seeing it like that. So I thought it was a close, competitive fight. I can see the draw. The draw, I have nothing wrong. I don't feel anything wrong with the draw. Uh, Towards the end of the fight, Canelo got some fire in his belly, and he really went out there. And I think that what we really started to see was Canelo's fatigue. Like, late in the fight, Triple G kind of did the little carrying thing that he did, almost in a way where he let Canelo hit him a few times, and I think at that point Canelo was so drained that he couldn't hurt Triple G. I think that from like the ninth, 10th round on, Canelo just couldn't hurt Triple G. And I think that we saw that Canelo has a chin, right? And I think that we saw Triple G has even more of a chin. you know, because Canelo caught Triple throughout the fight. Canelo caught Triple G with more just flush punches to the jaw than Triple G was able to catch Canelo with, and that was just, that just goes to show, So there's gonna be a rematch. I guess we want to see the rematch. I mean, I want to see the rematch. And if I'm going off of what I saw in the very first fight, then I have to assume that in the rematch, if there is to be a winner, that it would be Triple G. Like just from what I seen in the first fight, I am gonna go back and watch it again. But from what I seen in the first fight, it just looks to me as if the necessary adjustments that need to be made are easier done by Golovkin. Starting off with the jab earlier in the fight. Getting that real heavy pressure on Canelo earlier in the fight, working the body earlier in the fight, things like that. Where I think what Canelo has to do is up his stamina, and maybe that's just something Canelo can't do, because that's a problem we've seen from Canelo his whole career is in these tough fights, in these fights where there's a lot going on, he he gets fatigued. Now he keeps fighting. I give Canelo that. He could have just stopped in the corner one time and just let Canelo tee. I mean, and let Triple G tee off on him, but he never did that. He keeps fighting, but he always starts getting fatigued once it gets to that fifth, sixth, seventh round, and I just feel like in a rematch, I chose Canelo. I predicted Canelo would win this fight in like a late late round stoppage. I can't remember exactly which round, but a late round stoppage. But I was wrong about that, and I think that I'm like in the next fight, I think that I'm gonna have to predict for Triple G, because I see Triple G being able to do what's necessary and not Canelo, and that's just the truth. Uh, and another thing I wanted to touch on is the scoring of this fight. Goldenboy is corrupt. Especially, I mean, look, I guess I haven't been tallying it up when it comes to their other fighters, but at least when it comes to this dude Canelo, man, Golden Boy is a corrupt fucking promotional company. They in the Austin Trout fight, when Canelo fought Austin Trout, close competitive fight, going into the 10th round, the judges' scorecards were 80-71, 78-73, and 76-75, which is like 78-73, 76-75. Those are realistic. 80-71. Like, come on, man. That's a close fight, because the 76-75 could turn into a Trout win, and then the 78-73 would be a obvious Canelo win, and then the 80-71, if that judge was someone else, could have been, deciding the fight. But they do this though, like they do this with Canelo. This is the thing, right? And that's why I was mad at Stephen A. Smith when Teddy Atlas was talking on ESPN, and Stephen A. Smith is trying to like downplay the issue. Like we see this in boxing habitually, and it's not fair. And we need and there need and these judges need to be held accountable. Uh, C.J. Ross scoring the Mayweather versus Canelo fight a draw. Trout, then Mayweather. Oh, who else? Oh, Landy Lara at the end of the fucking fight. Everyone seen that fight. That was a close competitive fight. One of the judges had it 117, 111 for Canelo. Oh, yeah. Uh, when Canelo fought Khan, two of the judges had Canelo up at the by the time it was the end of by the time he got knocked out, by the time Khan got knocked out. So one of the judges gave Khan the first two rounds, which is like okay, and then they gave Canelo the rest. That one, I'm like, all right, more or less, okay, maybe. I thought Khan, was doing good though. I felt like he was doing good. What more is the dude supposed to do? He was outboxing Canelo. He was touching Canelo more, you know. Then another judge, he gave Canelo the first round, Khan the second round, and then gave the rest of the rounds to Canelo. And then this is a judge who I more agree with. He gave Khan the first 3 rounds, then he gave Canelo the last 2 rounds. Like that's how it was. That's how it was. It's out of pocket, man. Oh, but it don't stop there. Last night, Canelo versus Triple G. We got this Adelaide Bird 118, 110 in favor of Canelo Alvarez. Now look, I don't care what y'all say. Goldenboy is corrupt. Oscar De La Hoya makes sure in these big fights that there's somebody on the scorecards looking out for Canelo. He's making sure of that every time. And something needs to be, it's just like what Teddy Atlas said. The promotional companies get to choose the judges. They get to say, I don't want this judge, I want that judge. And that's a part of boxing that's it's gotta be deaded, man. It's killing the sport. And I predicted Canelo to win. I wanted Canelo to win. I wanted to see Canelo knock Triple G out. Like, not anything against Triple G. I just wanted to see, I just wanted Canelo to win. I wanted to see that underdog story, And I mean, it's like, I'm okay with the draw. I'm okay if Adelaide had Canelo winning 115, 113. You feel me? But 118, 110, you weren't watching the fight. I wasn't even scoring the fight. After a few rounds, I stopped scoring the fight. But I know it wasn't 118, 110 because I just have eyes. I was watching the fight. I still understand what it is that I'm looking at in each round, even though I don't have an exact score of how I saw the fight. It's just ridiculous that we still have to go through these things, and we got people, we got TV, we got ESPN when people are watching, and we get a chance to call these people out for their fraudulence, and you got Stephen A. Smith on there acting all nonchalant about it. That's bullshit. That dude, man, I don't know. I ain't gonna get into that, but it's Western Groove, and I'm out.
Words. I'll always be my dream with you. Those things we meant to say and do. Keep them afloat. Someday we'll make them so.